Hello everyone, hope you are having a good day. My name is Trisha Andrea Y. Rodrigo from BS Psychology 31A1. So, today we're going to discuss about thematic apperception test. So, what is thematic apperception test? Thematic apperception test is a projective test used for the assessment of children and adults. The content of the imagined stories would provide clues to the underlying dynamics of a subject's interpersonal relationships and self-attitudes. Okay, this thematic apperception test is a projectile test that involves describing ambiguous scenes. This is also known as the picture interpretation technique, wherein the client interprets what he sees in the pictures. Okay. Thematic apperception test is also a method of revealing to the trained interpreter some of the dominant drives, emotions, sentiments, complexes, and conflicts of personality. So, the apperception refers to the process of projecting fantasy, imaginary into an objective stimuli. So the test was developed by an American psychologist, Henry A. Murray, and Christina Morgan at the Harvard University in 1930s. So Henry A. Murray was the founder of the personality psychology, which emphasizes his most influential book entitled Exploration in Personality, 1938. He is also pioneer in the personality assessment and co-inventor of thematic apperception test. Christina D. Morgan was the co-developer of Murray in making the thematic apperception test. She was also an American clinician. Okay. In Murray's version of the test, there are 20 black and white picture cards that serves a stimuli for stories description about relationship or social situation. Today, the pictures are consisting of 31 pictures. So, the main goal of this test is to measure intended to evaluate a person's patterns of thoughts, attitudes, observational capacity, and emotional responses to the picture shown. So this next slide is the procedure in administering thematic apperception test. TAT is only meant to be administered in an interpersonal setting. Interpersonal setting is an exchange of information between two or more people. The test consists of 31 different cards containing ambiguous black and white pictures which are presented to the subject. And the keynotes keynotes. Ano ho ba ang mga keynotes? Ito po ang mga keynotes natin, M, F, B, G, BM, and GF. Description, M for males, F for females, B for boys, G for girls, BM for boys and males, GF for girls and males. So these letters, we will see this later on, what are these letters are used for. Next, the cards are provided to the subject in following sequence. So in presenting the picture cards, it should be in the sequence. For example, in this table, for the group of both males and females, the sequence of pictures are picture 1, 3, BM, 4, 6 BM, 7 GF, 8 BM, 9 GF, 10, and 13 MF. These are the sequence. So if we're going to present to the clients the pictures, it should be in this following sequence. We are not allowed to rumble this sequence because it will change the outcome of the assessment. Okay. So for the instructions, each picture should be shown one at a time, and the subjects are asked to depict a story from the picture in the card. The total time duration for 10 pictures shown is 50 minutes. So every picture card, the client or the examinee has 5 minutes to answer per picture. Next is the conditions or setting. What are the setting between the subject or the client and the examiner, or examinee and the examiner? So the examinee should be seated right beside the examiner with their chair turned away. Time is measured from the moment the first picture is presented to the subject before the next picture is given. Then we could proceed to the other pictures when all information is given by the client. Okay, next. Condition for the story are compulsory. These are the must for the story to be described by the subject. So these are what we need to get from the clients when they're going to give their description about the story or the picture. Type present situation. Okay, what is the currently happening in the picture? Thoughts and feelings of the characters. What do you think about the characters' feelings, thoughts in the pictures? Are they angry, sad, happy, or stressed, and many more? Preceding events. What are the events that led up to the story? The final outcome. What was the outcome? Okay, what was the outcome? What was the ending? Okay, next is the recording procedure. So in the recording procedure, we need to record all of the subjects' responses, okay, along with the behavioral observations, stuttering, voice tone, body posture, hand movement, exclamation, and so on. So as an assessee or the examiner, we should always take record or take down notes about the client's response, behavior, posture, voice tone, body movements, and many more. Because it is important to take the notes so we could know about their thoughts to the picture. Okay, the examiner should not just present picture to their clients or examinee. They should also engage in questioning and inquiry to produce the continuous flow of their fantasy. Okay? The cards should be administered in the sequence where they are presented to the subject. Okay? The cards has a number sequence and the examinee should always present it to the examinee in a sequence manner and not rambling the sequence number. Okay, yon. Next. So, Henry A. Murray also developed a scoring technique and categorized 5 aspects of the stories. So, the need for hero. The scoring for the need of hero involves identifying the protagonist of the story or who is the central of the story. Next is the need for hero. It was important for Murray to identify the motives, needs, and desire of the hero. Okay, what are the needs of the hero? Identifying the presses. So presses meaning external influences. Environmental factor that influence with the needs or actions of the hero are regarded as presses. Next, scoring for themes. This involves evaluating the nature of interplay and conflict between the presses and the needs, emotion elicited by conflict, and the way in which conflict is resolved is assessed. Next, for Murray's 5 aspect of story is scoring for outcome. Major scoring for outcome is done on whether or not the story has an happy ending. Also, the impact of the outcome influenced by the strengths of heroes and presses is assessed. So next. the scoring systems. So most clinical practitioners do not use formal scoring systems. Several formal scoring systems have been developed for analyzing TAT stories systematically and consistently. Two common methods that are currently used in the research are the Defense Mechanism Manual. So, Defense Mechanism Manual, it was developed to assess the use of three defenses: denial, projection, and identification. The scoring for each defenses is based on 7 categories. So, it has 7 categories. Each designed to reflect a different aspect of defense. Each may be scored as often as necessary, with the exception of the direct repetition in the story. In cases of repetition, the category is scored only once. So the 7 categories, or the summary for the scoring categories in denial. So in denial, there is omission, misperception, reversal, statements of negotiation, overly maximizing positive or minimizing negative, denial of reality, unexpected goodness, optimism, positiveness, and gentleness. Again, in the 7 categories of denial, there is omission, misperception, reversal, statements of negotiation, overly maximizing positive or minimizing negative, denial of reality, unexpected goodness, optimism, positiveness, and gentleness. So next, the seven categories of projection. First is the attribution of aggressive or hostile feeling and emotional or intentions to a character, or the feelings, emotions, or intentions that are normatively unusual. So next, number 2, addition of the omnious, people, ghosts, animals, objects, or qualities. Third, the magical circumstantial thinking. Fourth, concern for protection from external threat. Fifth, the apprehensive of death, injury, or assault. The sixth is themes of pursuit, entrapment, and escape. And the last is bizarre or very unusual story or theme. The identification. So in identification, the first is emulation of skill, emulation of characteristics, regulations of motives or behavior, self-esteem through affiliation, work, delay of gratification, role differentiation, and moralism. So the score, social cognition and object relation scale. This assesses 4 different dimensions of object relations: the complexity of representation of people, affect, tone of relationship paradigms, capacity for emotional investment in relationships, moral standards, and understanding of social causality. So, that is the 2 scoring system for thematic apperception test. So, these are some examples of thematic apperception test. I only put around 9 to 12 pictures. So, here in picture 1, the boy is looking at the violin. The description here is the boy is looking at the violin. The next picture, a woman is holding a book in a country scene, watching a man working in the field background. Picture 3BM. So picture 3BM is most used for boys and males. That's why there is a BM. A boy huddled next to a couch with an ambiguous object placed next to him. possibly a revolver or a set of keys. So that is it. Next picture, picture 3GF. So picture 3GF is most commonly used for girls and females. So a woman standing next to an open door holding a side of the door with one hand and the other hand covering her face, her downcast face. So picture 4, a man turning away from a woman who is grabbing his shoulders. Picture 5, a woman looking into a room for the other door, from the other door. Thank you everyone. Have a good day and watch the next video. Thank you. Good day, Miss Venice.
Good day.
So today I'm going to explain to you what are we going to do today, okay? So today we're going to do a test. This test is to assess your personality and thought disorders, okay? So I'm going to show you some pictures and I want you to respond to these pictures as what you imagined, okay? So tell me your immediate response to this, okay? Your immediate response. So tell me the present situation, the thoughts and feelings, or what is happening, preceding events, or what led up to the story, and the final outcome. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you want me to explain again?
No need.
Okay. So, I'm going to show you the first picture.
The boy is thinking
Okay.
about something. The boy is thinking about something.
Okay. So, what is his thoughts or feelings?
Thinking what will he write on the paper, or what he's going to do with it.
Okay. So, what are the preceding events?
Preceding events.
Or what might lead up to the story?
Passing it, or knowing what it is.
Okay. So, what might be the outcome?
Passing it.
Passing
Passing the test, or what he's doing.
Okay. So, in the second picture,
The girl is holding a book.
okay.
She is thinking, where should she read the book?
Okay. So, what might be or what led up to the story?
She is going to learn something new from the book.
Okay. So, what might be the outcome?
Learning something new to the book that she read.
Another thoughts? Do you have any idea? Oh, so the next picture?
A girl crying in the sofa.
Okay.
Having a scissor. Is that a scissor?
Okay.
Lalablas na siya.
So, what might be his thoughts or what is his current feeling?
Sad. Crying.
Sad.
Don't know.
Okay. What might lead up to this story, or what is the preceding event?
Feeling okay because she did something.
Did something. Something what?
Something would calm her down.
Okay. So, what might be the outcome? What might happen? What is the end?
Doing the tools.
Again?
knowing the truth.
The truth?
Truth.
Knowing the truth. And truth about
something and feeling happy. And then still crying.
Okay. Thank you.